Well, when's the last time you got into a car and went to a job interview with your kid and actually sat in the interview? That sounds so crazy, right? Joining us now is Michael Lin, a leadership expert who works with a lot of companies from coast to coast on how to create great workplaces. Michael, welcome in. Apparently now helicopter parents, at home and in their personal lives is one thing, and that, that's a whole nother subject to discuss. But to take it to the point where you're actually going to job interviews with your young kids, I mean, is this really happening?
Yes, it is happening. But the good news is not all young people are like that. So,
I mean, listen, if you're the boss and you're going to interview a guy, and Tom, the guy that wants the job, he's 22 years old, comes walking in, sits down, and all of a sudden here's mom right behind him and sits in the chair next. I'd be like, excuse me, what are you doing here? Well, I'm going to be here with the interview with my son. I'm going to help him through this. Okay, this interview's over. Goodbye. I don't know.
Yes.
Kind of weird.
Yes, that is a sign that this person should not be hired. And then if you hired someone, and then after a month, mom showed up to talk to you about whatever, that's a sign that you hired a mistake.
Yeah. And the fact that it's happening is just kind of disturbing. Now, why is it getting to this point? Are we just raising a bunch of puds? What's going on?
Well, the harsh reality here is these are children in adult bodies, and they are children in adult bodies is because their parents are also children in adult bodies. So that is just the harsh reality here. I know the truth will hurt your feelings, but the truth will set you free.
Well,
and the good news, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is this time for the bosses to really draw a line here? Is this becoming something that is not so uncommon anymore? And how do you handle that as a boss?
Absolutely, you got to draw a line. Basically, if the parents showed up for the job interview, you should not be hiring them. If the parents came in to handing the application, you should toss the application in the recycle bin. If the parents showed up after you hired this person needs to go. But the good news here is not every young person is like this. Some of them are like this, but there are plenty young people who are nothing like this. I meet them in my seminar rooms. They get hired by companies. They're so good, they get promoted into leadership positions, and then their employers will send them into my leadership seminar training rooms. And then I meet them, and I joke with them. I said, there's nothing millennial about you. As far as being a millennial is concerned, you're fired. And then they laugh, the ego.
Oh, my gosh, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The fact that it's bad enough when you're a helicopter parent as your kids are growing up and you're showing up and you're over them all the time and not giving them any real independence. This is why it translates into later in life and they can't get out there and walk by themselves without mom coming behind them. Oh, the crazy times that we're in right now. Michael Lin, thanks for the update on this. The fact that this is even happening, is that not just bizarro? Is this could you imagine? Namath, you're 22 years old. I remember when you came in here and had the job interview here. Could you just imagine if your mom decided I'm going to go along with you, son? And I mean, what?
Yeah, I wouldn't be getting the job, JT, needless to say, and I would probably be very irritated with my mother.
Was she a helicopter mom? Does she?
No, not at all. My parents are, they give me all the freedom in the world.
Yeah. I just can't imagine this happening. And in fact, after you're hired, imagine your mom walking down the hall and into our boss's office and going, I need to talk to you about my son. Apparently he's got some problems going on here. I'd like to help work through the issues. I mean, this is what's happening with these parents sometimes.
Huh.
No, thanks. Love you, Mom, but stay out in the parking lot. And don't even come to the parking lot. How about that?